Hello ladies and gents, my name is Jeremy. If you follow my Twitter, you know about a month ago I was and still am wildly obsessed with this cool show that I found on Netflix called Revolution. It is really cool. You should definitely check it out if you get an opportunity to, and if you like this kind of television. It's really good. It's by NBC. It is about a futuristic apocalyptic world, I suppose you could say, where the lights and all of the power in all of the world have gone out. It's 15 years in the future since that event, and basically where season 1 left off is the main characters that have been trying to reach a goal, which I don't want to spoil too much of, end up being able to turn on the power in enough time that it took some crazy people to send some nukes over to some of the powers that were on the East Coast, and they decided to shut off the power so that the nukes would not hit them. Unfortunately, it did not work, which is where season 2 picks up, except now it's doing a lot of what Heroes did, which is cool and is great for plot progression and for telling stories, but pisses me off as a viewer because I want to know exactly what's happening next. And they skip 6 months ahead of time and decide to start storytelling from that point and where the characters are in the 6 months of the future and what is going to be their fate now. As of right now, a lot of the characters are very similar to where we left off as far as their personalities go, but they're very different as far as the choices that they're making. And this review-ish thing that I'm doing today is going to have a couple little spoilers, but nothing that is too big that if you've seen the episode it's not going to shock you. But if you haven't seen it, then you probably shouldn't watch it. You should go back and watch the first season and then catch up with this episode, which is on NBC.com right now. So you should check that out because I really want people to watch the show because I want it to continue and I want more episodes because it's very, very, very good. I only want to talk about a couple of things that were really key to me that I particularly enjoyed about this episode. Is that Charlie is on a mission seemingly to kill Monroe, and I don't know if anybody feels the same way, but I feel like Monroe as a character has been written the best dumb luck of any character that I've ever seen in television history, other than maybe Siler from Heroes. That the characters in the show have had ample time and ample opportunities to kill him and end his crazy little life of craziness and ruining everything else, and yet they either choked or something happened or they hesitated, which is the same thing as choking, and these opportunities were missed and then he got away. This happened again in this episode, which is fine because, I mean, I guess it reinforces his character that he has this dumb luck and that the characters don't kill him when they have the opportunity to. But he was captured by somebody, and I'm interested to find out if these people that captured him are capturing him because he's kind of making a name for himself among New Vegas, or if it's because they know that he's Monroe and they want to kill him, which is fine with me because I don't care for him. I mean, I care for him as a character because he is a lot of the driving force, the drama that happened in the first season, and he's a lot of the driving force, he is the driving force, I should say, of all the bad things that happened in season 1 with the main characters. And so I want him as a villain to end. I want him to stop. But at the same time, you know, like, I care for him because he's a character and all that stuff. But I want him and his existence to stop because I want retribution for what happened in season 1. As for Charlie, I really think that she's overcompensating for a lot of the problems that she had, losing her brother and her dad, and now her mom's kind of crazy. So, I mean, I understand where she's at, but I feel like she's really taken a very drastic turn, and I don't know if it's necessarily like something that was achieved by an arc of her progression as a character. I mean, I think she was working her way to being a little more violent as the series continued from season 1, but I don't know if she necessarily made a solid crossover between Charlie at the beginning, who was scared out of her mind and really stupid, to Charlie who's making very direct decisions to end someone's life. Like, I feel like that wasn't really her in season 1. and then there's kind of like this drastic switch that happened from 2. So I don't know if that's something they're going to explain through the rest of the season, but I don't really feel like it was a natural progression. I feel like there's like this stark, like, who Charlie is from season 1 and who she is from season 2. It's very much like Heroes, where all of a sudden from one season to the second season, or the third season, you know, like, a character's like completely different from each other. So I'm hoping that they explain this in a nice logical way, how she got to this point of such an extreme, but I'm digging it in a weird way. And then the other big thing was Aaron dying, and then Claire Bennett resurrecting himself at the end of this episode. And I don't remember, maybe I'm just forgetting, if they implanted one of those like circly chip things that helps you regenerate that they had in season 1 that a couple of the characters had. I'm wondering if maybe he has one of those implanted in him and he just doesn't know about it, or if maybe they intentionally put it in him at one point and then they just forgot, or if they did it in season 1 and I just don't remember that they did that to him. But he's alive even though he died, or maybe it has to do with the electricity and those weird fireflies, and I'm really not sure. I'm curious. I have, you know, my ideas of what happened, but really the only explanation to this is to go Heroes and be like, by the way, they all have superpowers. And I really hope that this show doesn't do that, because I'm gonna be really disappointed with life if that's where it goes, because they've already done some weird things, like how Lost did some weird things, and I'm hoping they don't do something like this, because it might actually really upset me. Internally it might upset me. I'm still gonna watch the show, but I feel like it's gonna upset me if they try to do something like that, like Heroes, where all of a sudden characters just have powers that they didn't know about, or like in Lost, where certain characters just had magic powers that they shouldn't have had. You know, like, if they do weird stuff like that, I'm gonna be disappointed. But I really liked the way that this episode progressed, and it looks like a lot of the villains of this particular season are gonna be with the American government, who's now returning and are trying to ally themselves with the commoners. And it also looks like the Plains Nation is gonna be a driving force of the villains for this season, and I'm curious to see how it's gonna go. I really liked this episode though. It was really cool, and I'm excited to see the next one, and I'm glad that I decided to have enough sense in my brain that I watched this episode online, and I'm not gonna wait till it comes back on Netflix, because I'm just gonna be frustrated because this is one of those shows that like has really big cliffhangers at the end of every episode, and I need to know what happens next. It's like 24. I'm just addicted and I have to know. That being said though, if you watch this episode, please let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, and I will see you guys all again next time with another video. Hopefully I'll be doing more reviews of this particular show if it is something that you all would like to see. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye!